be your constant source of stability. The truth is, a lot of us would have turbulent emotions, and this is specifically for people like that. If your emotions are very turbulent, before you know it, you're going on a downward spiral, then this is for you. Before you know it, you're meditating on things that are just keeping you unsettled. You're always angry, you're always upset, you're always sad, you're always moody, you're always having mood swings. This is for you. It just shows that there is a level of instability that you're facing. The world is always changing, things around you would always change, things would not always go as you have planned it. However, God is a constant source of stability. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tolu Akinyemi. It's a privilege to be in your space today. If this is your first time here on this channel, I share thoughts that help women rise above limiting beliefs, that help them to be comfortable with their emotions and to have healthier conversations with themselves. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back again. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can get notifications each time I post videos here. Today, I'm going to be talking about something related to your emotions, that you always have a choice. Now, there are people who have turbulent emotions. There are people, or maybe it affects everybody. You just realize that for some reason, your mind just goes on a downward spiral. And there are seasons that things like that happen to you when it seems like you're focusing on meditating on the things that are not serving you. A lot of us will say that I want to have more peace, I want to have more joy, I want to be happier, I want things to go smoothly. A lot of us say things like that. You want to have clearer mind, smooth, safe headspace, everything looks clear, bright, you're happy, everything is going on smoothly. A lot of us will want that. But if you ask yourself, are my thoughts aligning with this that I said I want? Are my practices aligning with the things I say that I want? Say, for instance, something happens, probably at work, you are doing something. This is how you do your job, and you do that particular thing, that task, the same way you would do it normally. But somebody above you decides that in this particular case, I want it this way, but there's no form of communication, and then it's coming back to you looking as if you made a mistake, whereas you just did things as they are supposed to be done. And then you take that on, you start ruminating on it, dwelling on it, as if you've done something wrong or something, something bad has happened, or you just go in a downward spiral because you're thinking about the club that you support, football club, and it looks like somebody else is beating them. It could be anything. Uncontrolled use of social media, watching of movies non-stop. For instance, you go on social media, you're just scrolling. One minute you see somebody has died, the next minute you see an accident has happened here, the next minute is somebody is bullying another person here, the next minute is you see a group of friends, they've taken a road trip, you are not there, and you're like, why did they go without me? What is the problem? What have I done wrong? Is it about me? What is it? There are just lots of things. Or maybe your children is at school with other children, they hit themselves or something like that, and maybe the adults there, you felt they didn't handle it the way they're supposed to have handled it. You want to be the mother, and there are just lots of things that can go wrong, or lots of things that can happen. But the truth is, you always have a choice to go on the downward spiral or to choose to meditate on something that will serve you better. So a thought pops up in your mind of what somebody said, what somebody could have done better, what somebody said to you, and it's just like, why would they say this kind of thing? I should have responded this way, I can respond this way, I can do that. And you just see that you go on a downward spiral. If you're someone who experiences this a lot, you would benefit a lot from self-awareness, getting to know yourself better, getting to know the things that trip you up, getting to know the things that can easily make you go on the downward spiral. That's the essence of getting to know yourself, observe yourself, so that you can work with yourself. You'll be able to identify patterns in your thought process, things that keep happening to you. Myself, for instance, if my morning routine is disrupted, chances are I'm going to be sort of unsettled throughout that day. because my morning routine is already shaken somehow. When I say morning routine, if I'm able to wake up and pray and I'm able to study my Bible, I have a more balanced day, regardless of what happens, regardless if things went as planned or they didn't go as planned, because it just keeps me in a particular headspace. That is for me. I don't know what it is for you, but if my morning routine is unsettled, it sort of unsettles me. Before you know it, something someone said gets at me, something another person did gets at me. It just keeps popping up, and before you know it, I'm ruminating. But I always have a choice. Do I want to focus on this, or do I want to take my mind back, catch myself? So if you're able to know yourself, you know the things that easily trip you up. Even the Bible says that we should lay aside every weight and sin that so easily besets us. How would you be able to know the weight that is stripping you? How would you be able to know if you are not aware, if you don't pay attention to yourself? You notice your patterns, you'll notice the things that are not serving you, and you'll be able to work with yourself to get things better. The Bible also talks about your thoughts in Philippians. Let me quickly read that for you. Philippians 4, verse 8. Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. So whether you choose to meditate on what someone said that upset you, or you choose to meditate on things that are lovely, things that are of good report, things that are just, things that are pure, you have a choice. We always have a choice. And sometimes it looks like you're just going in that headspace, you don't have a choice. But no, just this morning I had a similar experience and I had to catch myself. Why are you thinking this way? It's not serving you, it's hurting you the more, it's making you go downward. Before you know it, everything around you begins to look chaotic because you've allowed yourself to get into that headspace. So you need to be able to catch yourself back and bring yourself back. Before I finish, I also remember that I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and he said, we always fail because of knowledge gaps. And that's why I would say, know thyself. Observe yourself and stop taking yourself too seriously. Know yourself. That is, I think that should be the crux of this entire message. Know yourself. You choose what you meditate on. And then I'm going to share this last scripture, and that is because of people who have turbulent emotions. You have a choice, and it's from Isaiah 33, verse 6. This is the TPT translation. You can choose to read it yourself later. Isaiah 33, verse 6. He will be your constant source of stability in changing times. And out of his abundant love, he gives you the riches of salvation, wisdom, knowledge. Yes, the fear of the Lord is the key to this treasure. The first part is what I love. He will be your constant source of stability. The truth is, a lot of us would have turbulent emotions, and this is specifically for people like that. If your emotions are very turbulent, before you know it, you're going on a downward spiral, then this is for you. Before you know it, you're meditating on things that are just keeping you unsettled. You're always angry, you're always upset, you're always sad, you're always moody, you're always having mood swings. This is for you. It just shows that there is a level of instability that you are facing. The world is always changing. Things around you would always change. Things would not always go as you have planned it. However, God is a constant source of stability. That's why I would advise that you cling to God, hold on to Him, put Him first. Come to Him because His hands are always wide open for you, for anybody, for everybody. He's the one who is there to heal the brokenhearted. So if you are someone who experiences, sometimes you think because I have turbulent emotions, yes, you might have gone through different situations that have formed you to be that way. But God is there to heal the brokenhearted. He is a constant source of stability. Everybody can do with some stability in their lives. So it's best we cling to the one who can give you that stability. If you hold on to God, place Him first in your life. It's an anchor that you can hold on to. So even if there is a storm around you, even if things are going on around you, inside you, that peace, that rest is there. God is the source of that peace, that rest. Have you seen that sometimes things can be going on haywire around you, but inside you are so stable? Jesus is that Prince of Peace and is the one that can give you. This message is for people who have very turbulent emotions. You're always moody, you're always having mood swings. Observe yourself. Know yourself. Know the things that easily trip you up. You should be able to catch yourself when you know, this thing is happening. You should know. You should know when you're having conversations with people and someone says something, you should be able to catch yourself that, if I'm not careful, because if somebody says something to you, for instance, you've observed yourself enough, you know that it's best I squash this thing right here. If the person says something that you don't understand, and you know you're the kind of person who will go back to keep dwelling on it, out of curiosity, ask, did you mean this? Oh, because when you said this, my mind went to this area. So you're able to squash it right there and there. And that's because you know yourself, you recognize your patterns. So know yourself, observe yourself, stop taking yourself too seriously. And lastly, God is that constant source of stability. Hold on to Him. He can give you that peace that you so seek and desire. I hope that from everything I've said today, one or two things, you've been able to pick one or two things that can help you. Don't forget Isaiah 33 verse 6. It'll be your constant source of stability in changing times. Thank you. Till I see you next time. Bye for now.